Okay, hi guys, we're with Rachel Rose again. Hi Rachel.
Hello.
And this time we're going to talk about something. So we talked about the root, and it's an amazing product. But health and healing is more than just one thing. I think me and you agree. And I got you involved with the Zencleanz, which I personally love. And you did it recently, the Rainbow Kit. Just walk us through your experiences with the Rainbow Zencleanz and what we're looking at here, the Forgive. I don't think you've done this one.
I have done.
You have.
I've done 2 forgives actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just need double forgiveness here. So talk us through how you come about the Zencleanz and what was your main thing is what is your experience with these? How powerful are these detox programs?
Okay. I think the reason I started was because I have got gut issues, health issues, and I'm addressing them. I'm using different products which are amazing, but I realised that when it came to my gut, I needed something more focused to clean it, but also my the liver's, can't get my words out, the liver processes everything, and I wasn't actually focusing on it, and I did start it years ago actually. I did a liver cleanse which wrecked my stomach, it wrecked my liver, I believe. It was one with like castor oil, olive oil.
Moritz one, isn't it? Andres Moritz.
It was, I don't know if it was that one, but someone wrote out, I followed a program, like a herbal program.
Apple juice?
Grapefruit, I think.
Grapefruit juice, okay.
Yeah. And I think it was grapefruit, it wasn't apple actually. But I had done that particular one a couple of times. The last time I did it, basically I was battling with health professionals to take me seriously because the pain I was in was awful. Bowel movements had changed and it was so bad. Like the pain in my stomach, I just didn't know what to do with it. And as I studied more, I realised that I probably jacked up my gallbladder. And so that led me down another rabbit hole of like learning, okay, how do I treat the gallbladder, the liver, then realising, oh my goodness, that's attached to the pancreas and the kidneys, and it's just a loop. So by the time I got to the Rainbow cleanse, that was actually my introduction to everything, and it was a really good start because
it's also one of the most expensive because these Zencleanz is not cheap.
Yeah.
But it's a 7-day. So normally people go for Zencleanz 1, truthfully, to start. Yeah. That's about $300 at 250 GBP. But yeah, 7-day one it's not cheap. So you took a risk, I guess. And I mean, you didn't know it was going to be as powerful, I guess, as what you told me.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And I took a week off annual leave. And basically, by the time when I spoke to you, I was at this point where like my liver, my gallbladder area, everything was feeling very tight. And I felt within myself that I felt like something's going to explode. My body's something's going to happen here. And you can't get into an emergency room. I don't know, whatever Western country you're in, you just cannot get into one for love nor money. And I'd already tried that. I mean, I'd had an ultrasound and I was told that I had no gallstones. My liver and my gallbladder were fine. And I'm like, these signs and symptoms do not correlate. And the ultrasound is not the only way to actually assess those organs. But I held my peace with that, and I went back to the books, and by the time I spoke to you, I was in this place of everything needs to get unclogged. I've got 1 week of annual leave coming up. We need to do something. And
it was your birthday, I think.
Was it? Yes, it was my birthday. Oh my gosh, it was. Yeah, that was my gift for my birthday to myself as well.
Best ever
it was
gift.
like, let's do a whole intestinal cleanse and a liver cleanse.
You're not a geek, really.
And
it's all
and the funny thing is, I share my birthday with my brother. He's exactly 3 years younger than me. Yeah. So normally it's like, okay, what are we doing for our birthday?
Yeah.
And he has gone down the whole rabbit hole of health as well, and he was like, no, Rachel, it doesn't matter if I don't see you, this is your gift to yourself. Like, he was like completely on board, so that meant a lot to me. But getting back to Rainbow, so it's an intestinal cleanse. It's followed by a few days of taking enzymes. Now the enzymes are basically food. You're feeding your body, you're just not eating. But you're taking a completely natural enzymes, and then you finish the 7 days with a liver cleanse, which is this bad boy here. And it was interesting. I mean, I had researched again, this is like the geeky side.
They're 3-year fermented enzymes.
They are 3-year,
so they're not just like normal enzymes. People have to understand this. And when things ferment, the enzymes multiply. So we're talking about a ridiculous amount of enzymes, not a normal amount. With fruit and vegetables of 150 fruit and vegetables, organic fruit and vegetables made from Taiwan. So that's the reason why these kind of things are happening, like the fermentation of the enzymes.
And we need to stress, I want to stress as well the bit that you said about natural and fruit and veg, because I'm a believer in medicine is a good thing, whether it's modern medicine or, I'll say more traditional. I put this in the class of traditional because we're going back to fruit and veg.
Yeah.
But when the formulations are done right, you can get a powerful product like Zencleanz or like other products that we use because it's the way it's been formulated and put together. There's thought behind it. It's not just, have an apple, love,
No. It's not just
a
case of because some people come to me on my YouTube and I get it.
Yeah.
That's not a cheap product. It's not a case of let's figure out how to do this ourselves. The way I see it is this ancient Chinese wisdom passed down in sort of a secretive mode, and they've kind of like patented it, sealed it, and to be honest, I know in my heart it's well worth the investment. And like I said, it's not a cheap product because a lot of my customers come rebuy. Like you'd probably be using this again.
Absolutely.
Because you see, and the only reason why isn't because it's because you're open-minded, it's because you got the results, and the results were worth the price that you invested in them.
Absolutely. I mean, that first week though, I think it was the best thing. Starting with Rainbow was great for me because it suits my personality. Just go all in, and I don't like cooking, especially when it's just for you. It depends. I just don't like, and I have fatigue issues as well. So cooking for a detox or anything like that, it is not the combo that you want. Everything, I don't have the Rainbow Cleanse box, but basically it's like a bigger box than this.
Yeah.
Everything came in one box. There were instructions telling you what to do and when.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But my experience for that week was that I was fried.
I just thought you save money on food when you're not eating all those days.
That's what I use for part of it. I have a food budget. I have a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
So and that part of that money from the spreadsheet
you
for the
use
food.
for this.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually, it might not cost next to nothing because you're saving the money you normally pay on food. You just put towards the 7 day. In some ways,
yeah, you
like,
can. But also, I think you get to a point where you're that desperate, and I was that desperate. The tightness in my liver and the gallbladder area was it was getting in my back, and I just couldn't hack it. I knew something was going to happen there, and I think it was day 1 and day 2 is the intestinal. So that basically focuses on getting like rid of mucoid plaque, and depending on how toxic you are, it will depend on the results that you get.
Yeah.
Everybody's body's different. For me, I had some bowel movements, and I wasn't completely blown away, if I'm honest, but I also know I'm completely congested.
Yes.
So I was completely accepting of that.
Yeah.
But what was interesting for me was that, for that week, I was exhausted. I basically spent the week in bed, and I'm a person that when I get up in the morning, I need to get up and get out of bed. I don't want to stay in bed because it's depressing. So get up, make the bed, off you go. And even if you're staying home all day, I couldn't. I know when I'm sick or if my body's run down,
That
if
was a severe
paralysed.
detox reaction.
Oh, it was something else. It was just something else.
Yeah.
Come the liver cleanse.
Right.
That was the beginning. I'm just going to go sideways a little bit.
Yeah.
The company has a Telegram group that's really good to get plugged into because people share their experiences, and if you feel your body's going a bit sideways, you can ask questions, and other admin people, they will, people share pictures in there. I mean, that's not your thing, scroll past. But people give you like that feedback, or you see other people's stories, and you realise that we're not all that different. We're at different stages of healing, and your body is showing it. It may be the same as others at some stages or differently. What I saw with my Zencleanz was that my body was actually releasing fat. And I was like, hang on, what is this film at the top of the toilet bowl? And I looked and I asked questions in the group, and it was fat. And that's the liver expelling it, getting ready to get rid of the other stuff. So you've got to think about the process as not just stages but layers, like an onion. So that when you start this process, the first layer of onion starts getting peeled, and for me the fat was coming off. So that's my body was getting rid of that. And it wasn't, and I felt so much lighter. That whole liver gallbladder area that was feeling tight, literally, it just felt so much lighter. I can't explain it. I didn't expect to feel like an awakening as many other people do because my body's very toxic. There is a whole liver issue here that's connected to the gut, etc. So that will take time. More layers of the onion need to peel. But that first week, I could feel my body relax. My skin is usually, this cheek is usually really rough. It started getting really smooth. Even my mum accidentally brushed past my face. So I was sitting on the bed, she was going past me, and she was like, hang on, like, and I was like, Mum, feel it. It's like, it's getting smoother.
That's because the liver is very strongly connected in ancient Chinese medicine to the skin. The skin is the third lung. I mean, sorry, I'm saying it wrong, the lungs and thing. But yeah, the liver, when cleansed, I noticed it too. When I did my liver Zencleanz, I did a video about it and I could see my skin had improved a lot.
Amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so the liver, when it's toxic, fucks up your skin. When the liver gets when it's such a huge clear out of the liver, the skin looks so radically different that you notice the difference.
Yeah.
And that's what's nuts about it.
For sure. And it also, I don't know if it's my first, so that was the first one. Yeah, I think it was the second cleanse that I did. So I left a couple of months and now I had some no one has spare money, but I'm going to call it spare money. I was like, I need to get more of these. I need to do a couple more before the year is out. So I got this one and another one. So I did another one about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my skin
Which
got
one was
worse.
that? Zencleanz liver?
This was liver again. This was forgive again.
Nice, yeah.
But now my skin has got worse in that it started to push things out.
Yeah, sometimes it has to get worse to get
Exactly
better, right?
Exactly. And I'm like saying to my brother, I'm getting more spots here. Like the redness is getting worse. And I'm like, yes, because
Get in there.
it is, you are getting it out. But the amazing thing with this one was, so if we go back to the analogy of peeling the onion, the liver before got rid of fat.
Yeah.
So it was getting ready to now go to the next layer.
Yes.
Typically what is told when you go on this cleanse is that the first day you take I'll say the enzymes in the box, you take something every hour. It's preparing your gallbladder and your liver to flush.
Yeah.
That's a preparation. On day 2 in the afternoon, that's when the flush really happens. And that's when people will see lots of gallstones in their various forms. So from what I understand, some the baby ones may float because they haven't fully formed. Other fully formed ones will sink, all that sort of stuff. Now, I was halfway through the first day and I started seeing small gallstones.
Right, green.
Green. Yeah. Yeah. Now, some people, this is not my jam. If this is your jam, go for it. Some people do they have their bowel movements in a sieve and they shower that down and they investigate everything. I didn't do that, but I could clearly see things leaving my body. And again, that's going to the second layer of the onion, of what's personal to you, because your body is literally, that first liver cleanse is starting to get rid of some of it. What it gets rid of, it's then pushing from behind the rest.
Isn't that a great argument for something that I've heard many times, that people don't get results from Zencleanz the first time around and then nothing comes out and all these things? Is because the first layer hasn't been breached fully. Because they're so toxic, and everyone's at different levels of detox, and it's not a judgment. It's just if you're not getting results, you might need to do another one to see that, just to plug a little deeper, because you had different results from the first two.
Exactly.
But it took the second one to get the gallstones that have famously come out for most people on the first lot. It took you the second one to get out.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, the second, I think the second day when I had a bowel movement, I could physically feel what came from me was heavier.
Right.
And I know I've watched other videos and testimonials, people haven't felt anything. I physically felt that I think I probably passed a bigger gallstone. Again, I'm going to say I'm guessing here because it's how I felt my body respond. And I didn't do the sieve thing, I didn't shower anything down. But again, I do believe I went to that second layer of the onion, so to speak, to get rid of that. But then my skin broke out more, and again, I'm not looking at this as a bad thing. I'm trying to address gut issues, but in order to help my gut function, I need to support the liver in doing its job. And if the liver is congested, it can't help balance the pH of my gut, it can't excrete excess hormones, toxins, all of that stuff that's building up. It will contribute to constipation issues. Now, my issues aren't they're not all solved because it's taken years for my body to build up and to basically shoot my liver, really.
Yeah.
But I can see I'm going in the right direction.
Exactly.
From the things that are leaving it, because those things want to leave, it just needs some help.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing, I think, what I know, what I have to say is, for me, the first time I did a liver cleanse of any sort, it did mess things up. I was really scared to do this, and I was texting you a lot, like, just in case I end up in hospital like last time, and
Yeah.
this is so gentle, and it really relaxes the bile ducts, from what I understand, and it opens and it relaxes them so that your body can release what it needs to release at that particular point. Your body's not going to do more than what you're ready for.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised that if, because of my fear of the first time, it could only go for as far as releasing just fat.
Yeah, maybe that's true too. The emotional aspect of what your fear of the first one different held you back from a full release on the actual first cleanse on the liver on this one.
That's what I really do.
And then
think
you got the reference that it's okay and passive.
Yeah.
So no longer need to think bad about this. And the second one was much more deeper too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think there is an emotional aspect to this.
Yes. Yep.
So there was certain.
And funny, I just want to interrupt.
Yeah,
because
go for it.
The ancient Chinese knowledge and this cleanse is just called forgive, and because the liver holds a lot of anger in it.
Yeah.
And that's true Chinese knowledge. So when you cleanse something like a liver so much, you remove a load of anger, and you do feel those emotions of forgiveness and compassion. Because people have noticed that the emotions are connected to the organs, and when you cleanse the organs so much, you literally have an emotional detox. It's quite common in Zencleanz to have an emotional detox. Was that something you were going to touch base with? The emotional aspect
Yes,
of
the
it?
emotional, but I actually went kind of the other way, in the sense that I lacked assertiveness in certain areas. And when you are not well, obviously you don't function as well. You're not really yourself, so like fatigue, I get fatigue, muscle weakness, things like that. So your brain is not on par, right, of what it could be. It's not where it wants to be. So I did this, and I lack assertiveness in certain areas. And let me tell you, I just started telling people, like, no, this is not acceptable. Like, you're not gonna treat me like this.
Yeah. Oh, cool. At work, right?
Yes.
Huh?
But
That's cool.
But it was done appropriately, but also it was like, hang on a second. The release was, the emotional release was, I deserve to love myself and treat myself better, and I deserve that from other people. But in the healthiest way of, I don't need to be your favourite person.
Yeah.
But let's get on in a world where I respect you, you respect me, and let me feel comfortable sitting in that.
And you're saying before, you noticed that you wouldn't have done it in those situations, that if you hadn't taken the cleanse. You're saying
That I think it would have taken a lot longer in a way. And
you would have got there anyway because you're on a natural growth journey.
Yeah, but I think I will still have had some stagnation.
Yeah.
Because look, it's like carrying garbage. It's like if the bin man doesn't come and get your rubbish every week, and imagine if you're keeping that in the garden, you know it's there. Even if you get rid of a few pieces and you sneak it to someone else's bin, it's still there. So you know the potential, but you don't quite get there.
Yeah.
And I think this really helped me get there. It got me there a lot quicker. But it also, taking that type of care for yourself, and you're making an investment where you know it's costing you something financially and you're taking a risk, but also physically, because you're thinking, okay, this has lots of fruit and veg in it. It's natural. I know I'm putting something good in my body, and you're giving yourself that chance. So I think there's lots to it than that. For me, I just started waking up, and literally it was like, just started waking up.
Your energy started increasing. Is that what you mean?
I wouldn't say my energy. I would say it was like an awakening of my brain.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, can I go back a little bit?
Of
Because
course.
you said something to me before about, was it the first Zencleanz one when you had, because you have issues with candida, right? We all do
Yes,
to some
yeah.
degree, but you'd say perhaps more than normal people. There's an extreme level of candida.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I've been, for the record, I have been, a couple of years ago, I did a whole GI map. So that was in there, yeah.
Yeah, and was it Zencleanz 1 where you wanted a result with candida? You'd heard stories that Zencleanz was really good at removing
Good,
it.
yeah, oh my
And I'm thinking of your
gosh.
tongue.
Yeah, so my tongue, with candida, I know some people get it really bad on their tongue. I've never got it. My candida has always been really to my gut, so digestion, stuff like that. So in a way, I've kind of been fortunate. But then it started coming on my tongue, and on the rainbow cleanse, at one point I started to get, oh, it was terrifying. I started to get like more of a thick coating on one particular day. And I was like, what's going, it was like my tongue just wanted to break out. The next day it went. It had just,
Mad.
the 2 days were different.
So you've always had that coating on your tongue.
No,
You hadn't.
no,
It went crazy.
it had started to build up a little bit, but it was very light, and I just noticed it. Like, how it wasn't. If you know anything about candida, like the candida tongue, if you don't, you can always Google. Some people have like a thick, creamy coating. I never had that, but it was starting to get whiter.
Right.
On the Zencleanz, on one particular day, it started to get creamy, and I was like, "Oh heck!"
A lot of things coming out of your tongue.
The next day, I think it was the next day or the day after that, it went. It was just gone.
Right.
So I think what my body was doing was pushing things out, and I also. It's always good to look at the toilet bowl. I know people, if you don't like it, it's not great. And again, I'm not saying you to sieve, because I don't use a sieve, a
and I
colander or
haven't
anything.
on mine. I will do at some point, but I haven't.
Yeah, but it's always good to have a look, because your stool tells you the condition of your health. So it's always good to have a look, and I think a candida did leave my body as well through the rainbow cleanse. So it was trying to just come out from wherever it could. So you'll notice as well, if you have candida and you're doing this, your symptoms may get worse before they get better, and that's completely normal.
And that's what happened to you. A lot of it was getting worse and then getting better.
Yeah, and within a day, it just like pushed out what it had to push out, and then it went.
How cool.
So yeah, that was interesting.
Definitely, and so that's quite a long summation, but I think we've gone quite deep. Is there anything I haven't covered about the Zencleanz that you want to tell people?
No, I would say it can be tiring. When I did it the second time, I did feel more lethargic, but I think it's important to give yourself the time off work and go through the process.
Yes.
Because we're talking about forgive, we're talking about releasing. It's important to be patient with yourself, and for me, when I do this will be done before Christmas, hopefully in October. So when I do that, I'm giving myself the time to rest, the time to do nothing.
Yes.
If there are people in your life that you need to keep relationship with for whatever reason, friends, family, work, whatever, take time away, turn off the phone, allow your body to release that emotionally and physically. To me, that's how you will get the most out of it. And if you have any gut issues, definitely if you've got gut issues, you've got to get to your liver.
I like it. So thanks, Rachel. This has been an amazing, awesome Zencleanz experience. I look forward to sharing more of your journey of it, and me and you. Lastly, are you lifelong on? Because I'll say for me, I'm definitely going to be using these. These are not one-off little gimmicks for me. I'm lifelong on them. So every few months, worst case every year, I'm on. Would you consider yourself a lifelong, what do you call it? Would you be on them lifelong, so far as you see in your healing journey, until you feel reached a certain point?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, it's going to take a while to undo what's been done, in that area, and to support my gut to work the way it should. So I can't see myself not. But I would also say that if you don't, I don't have a big budget, but there comes a point where you have to kind of, even if you've got to save up to do just one, save up and do just one, get into the Zencleanz Telegram group, or talk to yourself, talk to Harry, about how you can make the most out of that
For you,
one.
Rachel, you're affiliated. If they're friends for you, then you're affiliated with them too. Yeah, you are affiliated
I completely
with them.
forget that.
You have a coupon. It's very easy for you to create a coupon code. So.
Yeah, so, talk to someone to find out how you can get the best out of this, the most out of it. Because at the end of the day, look, no one's coming to save us. Our health is everything. Health is life. And we've got to do what we've got to do. And if that means saving up, I don't know when I'll do my next one, but I know it's going to come.
Yeah.
You just, after this, I don't know.
I love it. Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate
Thank you.